Hey guys, got deck profile for you. One of the most fun decks out there, Dimensional Robos. So I'm gonna first show you the deck, and then I'll do the overview. First off, we start off with the good old Daiyusha, and then we run 1, 2, 3, 4 crits, and then 4 more crits. No need to explain much there. Then we run the 4 draw triggers, and then the obligatory 4 heal triggers. As for grade 1s, we run 2, 3 Dailander, 3, 4 Mariner, only 3 Diamond Ace, and then the 4 8K. My favorite art. Grade 2s, 4 of the Die Dragon, only 3 Die Lady, 2 Miku, Sexy Miku, and 2 Twin Order. And last but not least, very straightforward, we run the the grade 3, 4 Daiyusha, and the star of the deck, 1, 2, 3, 4 Great Daiyusha. Alright, now for the overview. So, as for the grade 3s, there's not much for me to explain. There's just 4 and 4. I'm thinking of cutting one of him out just because it can be a dead draw later game because it's just a 10K. But so far it seems to be sufficed. I'll be honest with you guys. This is very lackluster, and it won't always get its effect off, sadly. But just its art and being able to possibly get its effect off is amazing. Just overall, it's a pretty good card. This deck's more like a fun deck than competitive, sadly. As for the grade 2s, the reason why I run 2 Twin Order is just because he's another 10K with an intercept. Unfortunately, most of your grade 2s are weak besides the obvious Die Dragon. I mean, you do have the Die Ladies, and she's good and all, but that 8K is just really struggling right now against the 11 base Vanguards and 13 base and 12 base. It's just really hard to be hitting anything, and even rear guards nowadays, they sit around at a high number. So I only run 3 just because of the name, and then the obvious 4 Die Dragon. I don't need to explain. It's Burning Horn Dragon. And then only 2 Mikus, just because she's just a weak attacker. I probably could bump her up to 3, if not even 4, taking out the Twin Orders. She's really good. She applies pressure, which is good for the deck. Now this is where people have many different choices. I first will explain these gals. The Die, It's Kenroy Daisy. People say don't run her because you're going to screw up your ride chain. In theory, this is almost like a ride chain deck. I say, well, it is what it is. That's why we run the Daiyusha, which I'll explain after. She's important because she's a good booster to hit the 13 base. Behind the Burning Horn version of this, the Die Dragon, it swings for 20. And it's just 8 is a very important number, especially right now during the cross-ride era. So I run her. You can definitely take her out to tech other cards, like you can take her out to run like 4 Dailanders if you want, and then like 2 Glory Makers, which by the way I would definitely try to squeeze in a Glory Maker if I could, but just right now the space is so tight on this deck. The Daiyusha is really good. My biggest complaint about it is that it's a 6K, and it's only really good okay behind Vanguard. So, and that's why I do run the 4 Die Mariner, just because it's a 7K. And that's really the only reason. It's got the okay effect of popping out, giving attack, but that doesn't matter. It's the 7K that matters. And only 3. Just because of space issues, and your deck's very pushy and aggressive, so you don't really need that for. It's not a defensive deck. Trigger lineup. The only thing one could play around with is possibly playing more draws. This deck does needs its pieces, so that is the problem of the deck, which makes it slightly lackluster. It does need pieces for it to go off, and if you don't get those pieces, the deck kind of just sits around not doing much. So you could definitely run 6 and 6 or 8 and 4, you know, draws and crits. That's the only thing I'd really play around with. And then the 4 heals, just because, you know, she's got big boobies. So, and last but not least, the reason why I run the Daiyusha over the Destiny Die Kid. Daiyusha is an extra die robo. So let's say you don't hit that right train. Let's say you have, you know, that, and then your hand is like a daisy per se, or actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. Let's say it's a die lander, and then you have like a Mika, and then you have this kind of hand. You know, this is kind of weird hand, right? You know, let's say, actually, let's just change it up. Let's say your hand's sloppy and it's like this. So, and then you have like, you know, random triggers. So, you're not, you know, let's say you don't draw. You don't draw what you need right off the bat. You know, you're kind of stuck. That being the case, oh gosh, you don't have your right chain successful, you know. I don't want to ride this over that, or, you know, let's say I have 2 triggers. This is my hand. Oh crap. Well, play on top. You have 2 names already. You do not need to take it out of the soul. You just leave it there, and that already counts the name. You have 1, 2, you know, well, that doesn't count. Then 3. You have the 3 right there. You can use it and keep it in the soul to get its, you know, to get the successful names, to get the Daiyusha off. You can always try to minus yourself if you're in a really bad situation, but that's very, you know, off chance. If you got the right chain, just put it behind the Vanguard. Vanguard will be swinging for a good number. If not, you keep it in the soul, so then you can hit the numbers you need successful to get the Daiyusha ultimate, you know, special effect. Well, let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you would build it. Everybody has a different build for this deck. And thumbs up, like for the great Daiyusha.